Jeremie, again, a meeting between the Prime Minister and U.S. President Donald Trump is expected. Some of these bilateral meetings, it doesn't sound like all three of them are going to get together. But take us through especially what it could mean at a bit of a lighter event and all being there for the FIFA World Cup draw.
Yeah, exactly, Matt. Look, it won't be just sports fans paying attention to this event, and it won't be just the draw that'll be highly anticipated, but that meeting between U.S. President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Mark Carney. This will be significant. You know, the two haven't met in an official capacity since October, which is when Donald Trump called off all negotiations after the Ontario anti-tariff ad that featured Ronald Reagan. It played during the World Series. Donald Trump didn't like it, and he ended negotiations after that ad was run. Since then, we know that U.S. President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Mark Carney have still been in touch. The Prime Minister recently told reporters that they were in touch towards the end of November, but that there was nothing newsworthy from that conversation. What we do know is that, you know, in an official capacity, Canadian officials, U.S. officials have not been negotiating, have not been sitting at the table trying to talk about a potential tariff or a trade agreement. So the big question is what will come of this meeting. The Prime Minister is going to meet bilaterally with the U.S. President. He'll also meet, as you've touched on, separately with Mexican President Sheinbaum. Both of those meetings are going to be significant. The Prime Minister recently traveled to Mexico in September when the two countries agreed to kind of strengthen their ties, strengthen their relationship in the face of Donald Trump's tariffs. So that meeting will be important as well. But of course, all eyes will be on that bilateral meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump. The Prime Minister's office confirming that they will be able to meet on the sidelines of the FIFA event, separate from the FIFA event here. Just to be clear, we're not talking about the two leaders, you know, just being in the same room and having a conversation during the FIFA event. That they will be, you know, taking some time separately to discuss you know, a whole host of issues. We don't know exactly what they'll be talking about. We'll try and learn afterwards. But this is a highly anticipated meeting, Matt, and the big question will be what comes of this afterwards. And is it possible that this brief meeting with the U.S. president for the first time in months can finally reignite talks between Canada and the U.S.?
And I guess that's the biggest thing too, Jeremie, right? We've talked about, you know, that Donald Trump got upset about Ontario's anti-tariff ad that quoted Ronald Reagan, you know, and really things have been stalled since then. But with the renegotiation of CUSMA, and that's happening officially, you know, that's going to get underway next summer as well, right around the same time as the World Cup is happening. There is a lot on the line here.
Absolutely. There's a lot on the line. You know, some U.S. outlets, Politico has been reporting that Donald Trump might want out of CUSMA altogether. That wouldn't be a good thing for Canada. Wouldn't be a good thing for the U.S. economy. Wouldn't be a good thing for Mexico. But, you know, Donald Trump has indicated that, you know, he might even want to renegotiate bilateral agreements, separate agreements with Canada and Mexico, rather than this trilateral agreement that is kind of the envy of so many other countries, this trade agreement between Canada, U.S. and Mexico that really benefits economically all three countries. The big question is what will happen. Many are concerned here in Canada that the renegotiation in 2026 could result in a worse deal than Canada has right now. And it's important to remember both Canada and Mexico, Matt, have been better off than most countries in the face of these tariffs from Donald Trump as a result of that agreement. So there certainly is a lot on the line, not just when it comes to immediate talks between Canada and the U.S. and the potential to, you know, get some kind of deal on tariffs, but in the long term, the relationship between the two countries and the potential of what happens moving forward with that CUSMA deal that, again, is so beneficial to all the countries that Donald Trump has indicated, you know, he's looking to renegotiate. He hasn't really said definitively one way or the other whether he's keen on keeping it or you know, just letting it expire. So there are a lot of questions that remain.
We will certainly see. CTV's Jeremie Charron live in Ottawa for us this morning. Thanks, Jeremie.
Yeah, anytime, Matt.